Recapping UFC 269. Let's get into it. What up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, and do all the YouTube things you need to do or should do for me, please. As you can see, I'm struggling with my t-shirt here because it's not cooperating with me. We're gonna talk about Nate Diaz's big win. No, you get the point. We're gonna talk about Nate Diaz's big win. We're gonna talk about the whole debacle that happened with the missed weight. We're gonna talk about the results of the fights. I want to start there. If you guys will allow me to, we're going to go here. Now, you see here, it gives you round one. They gave it to, we're going to do the big three fights. They gave round one to Lee. This is Lee versus D-Rod. They gave round one to Lee. Two judges gave round one to Lee. I want to know what Ron McCarthy was looking at to give it to D-Rod. And then, I don't know how Mike Bell gives round two to D-Rod when I just watched the fight. I gave it to Lee. And then I gave round three to D-Rod. So I want to know what Douglas Crosby was looking at to give round two to Lee. Round two to D-Rod. And then round three to Lee. I want to know what he was looking at. Round one's a toss-up. I just watched the fight, and like if you gave it to either of them, I wouldn't mind. So it came down to round one. Again, I don't know what this guy was looking at. Ron McCarthy to give round three to Lee and round two to D-Rod. Oh, no. He gave round three to Lee and he gave round one to D-Rod. I don't know what he was looking at to give round three to D-Rod. To Lee. So this one was, it was a toss-up, man. But D-Rod has since released a statement that he's hearing that people thought he lost. So he's willing to run it back with Lee. And that's another thing we have to think of, right? Like, he didn't have time to prepare for Lee, and Lee didn't have time to prepare for him. Even though they all say be ready for anything, like, come on, man. At this level, minor differences. Khamzat Chimaev versus Kevin Holland. There's not much to talk about, bro. Khamzat took him down and tharsed him. What can you say? Tony Ferguson versus Nate Diaz. Let's look at these scorecards. So I watched the fight yesterday again. I gave all 3 rounds to Nate. Like Saudi Amato and Ron McCarthy here. I don't know what Kamijo was looking at that he gave Tony Ferguson rounds 2 and 3. Like, what are you looking at? Did you guys see Tony's face? Like, what was Tony landing that you gave that was significant enough for you to give him round 2 and 3? I would have gave Tony round 1. And I'm not hating. I'm just saying you could clearly see that Diaz was landing the cleaner hits. So, as we all know, originally it was supposed to be Khamzat versus Diaz, Holland versus D-Rod, and Lee versus Ferguson. But because Khamzat missed weight, it caused this shuffle. Now, a lot of people got mad at Khamzat because the way Khamzat reacted with the whole thing, because he poked fun at it, right? He poked fun at it, so like, what are we doing here? Like, you're not even gonna say sorry. Like, he wasn't sorry about it. They would ask him about it. He's like, I don't care about that. I'm gonna fight at 170 and 185. Now, his coach came out today on Ariel's show saying, oh, well, he was having muscle spasms and stuff like that. But then all that tells me is that guy was weighing way too heavy. He was weighing way too heavy, and like people were saying, well, he looks lean. I'm like, yeah, but he's probably too much for the welterweight division. He should just focus on middleweight and maybe light heavyweight. You know, that's my opinion. And then people are telling me, "Oh, well, Nate would have gotten smashed by Hamza." Like at this point, that's irrelevant. It's irrelevant because the moment Hamza didn't make weight, that moment the fight was off. It's irrelevant at this point. Like right now, Nate Diaz is the megastar of all of MMA because he did what a lot of people have attempted to do, but he got out of his contract clean. He didn't go to court with the UFC. He didn't do none of that. It's like, all right, if what you want me to do is fight this last fight, I'll fight it and let me out. And originally, remember that boxing fight where the guy just walked out? I thought that was gonna happen, but Nate's like, nah, I'll fight. And it was cool of him because he didn't trash the UFC on his way out. He actually said in his post-fight interview, "I'm gonna go do my thing, and then I'm gonna come back and try to be a world champion." Like he didn't trash them. That's the crazy part. Like you would assume with all the craziness we're hearing that he would go out and trash them, but he didn't do that. He went out and trashed Conor, and he knew he was gonna get a reaction out of Conor. Conor only has 2 fights left. Can you imagine he fights his contract out and then they do the third one by themselves? But I don't think Diaz is into that. I think if he does the third one, he wants to do it in the UFC. I think. I don't know. As far as for Tony, again, these guys, he didn't look bad. Diaz just looked good. I don't understand how Diaz was the cleaner fighter. I remember looking at the fight, I'm going, wow, it's the third round. How's Diaz looking so clean? I don't know if he got that scar tissue removed because he looked different a little bit. But I don't know, man. But those people saying that Hamza would have smashed him, like, just stop. Stop because the fight didn't happen. I'm not saying you're wrong or anything, but I'm just saying there's no point in bringing that up. The only one bringing that up is Hamza because he's trying to look good in the debacle he caused. Just stop, please. Again, I would like to see Hamza fight at 185. He got into a scuffle with Paulo, so there's that. And Paulo put out a statement saying there's no way Hamza would fight him because he would mess him up because he's strong, he has grappling. Hamza's only interested in fighting guys smaller than him. I don't know, man. The story wrote itself. They just need to agree to fight and fight. And the crazy part is Hamza can fight in January. He can fight next month if you want. He took no damage in that Kevin Holland fight. Now, if they're going to look at him because of the craziness that went down with the weight cut, okay. But to look at what's next for them, I don't know because I believe this is Tony's 5th straight loss. The one that we honestly don't know what's next for him is Nate Diaz because people are speculating that he's probably going to try to fight Jake Paul after Jake fights Anderson on October 29th, somewhere around Halloween, something like that. I'll put a cool text graphic correcting myself, don't worry, because I'm also the editor. So I know the editor. He's a good guy. And then for Tony, I don't know, like he doesn't look bad. Like can I tell you guys something? Because we're all high on Chandler. He looked good in the Chandler fight. I would want to see what Nate would do against Chandler. Of course, they're not gonna fight at 155. I talked a lot of smack on Shannon Sharp. Is that his name? Skipping Shannon. That he said Nate Diaz will never make 155 pounds again. Now I agree with him. Nate looked huge on Saturday, and because he was preparing for a wrestler, so he put on some size, I imagine. He looked good, man. Checking the kicks. He cut Tony's leg up. So we shall see. That's all I got for you guys. Follow me, Punch the Mouth Official on Instagram, official_PITM on Twitter. Thanks, guys. Later. Peace.